After students, teachers and other government employees too have joined the demonstrations against the Rajapaksa administration, urging them to step down. The island nation, which has been in massive debt crisis, saw a single reprieve in the form of World Bank committing to provide $600 million in coming times.
Schools remained shut and train stations wore deserted look as teachers and train drivers joined mass walkouts demanding President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's government to quit over Sri Lanka's worst financial crisis in decades. Hundreds of employees from Sri Lankan state-run banks, most wearing black and carrying black flags, also joined other bank trade unions in a protest march to the president's office as thousands of people took to the streets around the country. The pandemic, rising oil prices, populist tax cuts and rapidly dwindling foreign currency reserves have left Sri Lanka without enough dollars to pay for vital imports of fuel, food and medicine. Sometimes, violent street demonstrations have erupted this month as shortages and power cuts became acute. The country's trade union leaders have threatened an ongoing strike from May 6 if the president and the government do not resign.
අද දිනයේදී මේ මුළු රට පුරාම මේ ආණ්ඩුවට ඉවත් වෙන්න කියලා සියලුම වෘත්තීය සමිති එළියට බහලා එක හඬින් එක හඬ නගා කියනවා.
Thousands of university students in Colombo hit the streets to demand President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa to step down. The economy of the nation of 22 million people melted down after a large 2019 tax cut by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa drained government coffers and COVID-19 hit the lucrative tourism industry. Foreign reserves fell 70% over the past 2 years to $1.93 billion, leaving Colombo struggling to pay for such essentials as fuel, medicines and food.
එතකොට අපිට රටේ තරුණයෝ විදියට රටේ ශිෂ්‍යයෝ විදියට වගකීමක් තියෙනවා මේ සමාජය මෙතනින් එහාට අරගෙන යන්න. ඒ නිසා මේ රටේ සියලු දෙනා පහුගිය කාලය ඇතුලේ මේක බලාගෙන ඉන්න විදියට විරෝධතා දක්වන්න පටන් ගත්තා. නගර මට්ටමේ ඒ වගේම දිස්ත්‍රික් මට්ටමේ විරෝධතා දක්වුවා. ඒ වගේම මේක උච්චතම ප්‍රතිඵල විදියට ජනාධිපති ලේකම් කාර්යාලය අත්පත් කරගෙන අදට දවස් 16ක් මේ රටේ තරුණයෝ ශිෂ්‍යයෝ වගේම සියලු බලවේග ඒ අරගලය ඇතුලේ ශක්තිමත් කරා. ඒතකොට රටේ ජනාධිපති ලේකම් කාර්යාලය අතෑරලා යනවා. හැබැයි තවමත් ආණ්ඩුව ඉල්ලාස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
Meanwhile, the World Bank has agreed to provide Sri Lanka with $600 million in financial assistance to help meet payment requirements for essential imports. However, before the IMF finalizes a program for Sri Lanka, the country needs $3 to $4 billion in bridge financing to help meet its essential expenses. Colombo hopes it can conclude the IMF aid talks in about 6 months, but it cannot control how long negotiations will take. S&P Global Ratings this week cut Sri Lanka's foreign currency debt rating to selective default after it missed interest payments. Analysts say social unrest, political uncertainty and a complex web of creditors could scupper Sri Lanka's push for a swift overhaul of its $12 billion overseas debt. And it is running out of the road for now, unless a miraculous turn of events pulls it out of the crisis.